Happy Tuesday. Welcome everyone. I am Sandy and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada. I'm so glad you've joined me today because we're going to do a fun technique today and called Emboss Resist. And you may have tried it before, maybe not with this particular stamp set, mind you, but it looks like it's, well, I did a sample card obviously because I have my blog post ready to go, and it just looks like it's going to be lots of fun. So now the other thing I wanted to tell you is that we're already at the 23rd of the month. Can you believe it? And what that means is that celebration ends on the 28th. Now I don't know if you knew that. Celebration in the past has been 3 months. Now it's 2 months. So without further ado, here we go. Hey, Rosemary. So anyone joining, say hi. Say hi. If you're new to us, say what country or province you're in, whatever. Hey, Julie and Deb. Dinner duty. Love it, Deb. Okay, so here's the stamp set we're using. And I have to be, I will be totally honest with you. This was not my first choice. I got this free. Came with the, oh, what event was it? On Stage? I can't remember the name. Horrible. Somebody here will remember. Hey, Noella. Anyway, so I thought, how can I make a really pretty card using this, which is why the Emboss Resist came up. So we're going to use a lot of these. A lot. I just noticed these little guys, which I hadn't before. There they are. Or maybe I had, if the sticker's off. I'm really bad for not putting my labels on. I do have an extra block here, so it's a little bit big, but we'll use it. We'll take it. Actually, I'll switch another one. Here we go. Okay, so there. We're doing a lot. Anyway, there's the stamp set. Woo! Get past that. First thing though, we're going to do a little stamping. We'll get the stamping out of the way. So just a white piece of paper envelope to protect my work surface. Okay, I'm going to use Memento, Tuxedo Black Memento. Here's our sentiment. I'll show you that in a second. I always do a test. Oh, somebody should have re-inked. Okay. So we'll just do this a bunch. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Grace. On Stage. Thank you, Julie. I knew somebody would know. Oh, hi, Stacy. And you're very welcome for the card. I'm glad you like it. Alrighty. Just gonna hold that down for a second. There we go. Beauty. Yes, I must re-ink that. Ever since I re-inked it like so much that it was like crazy re-inked, I haven't re-inked it since. Okay, so we have 2 pieces. Measurements don't matter right now because we're not doing that part first. First thing we're gonna do is bring out our embossing buddy. I just have it in a little container. I believe you can get these at your local craft store. I think I saw them at, now in KW, there's like a surplus shop. They may have them there. But you need this to take the static away so the embossing powder doesn't stick. Now with a card like this, it's actually okay if it sticks a little, so it's not the end of the world. Okay, here's my Versamark. It's shamefully really gross. Just notice I have powder all over my fingers. Okay, so we'll start with this image. And you won't actually be able to see very much right now. Sorry about that. So this will be the inside of the card. So I'm just going to do a few on there. But then, now what I was trying to remind myself is I have a habit of going around the outside when I'm doing my like embossing like this. Big mistake. Fill in the inside, because once you've done that, you made it really hard for yourself. Well, I don't even know if you can see me. I didn't even see the video moving, so yeah, it is kind of. All right, so I'm just tapping this. I just want to make sure it's got lots. Now I can see the images here, so I'm going to put another one kind of here. And what I ended up doing on my sample card was I actually embossed some and then went back to it, which kind of worked out really well. Now, because we work in threes, I'm going to put a third one on this, the inside of the card. We'll call that a day. And again, I don't know if you can see the shine, but it's really hard. Not upside down. They're close together, but they will do. All right, I think, nope, I won't. So for this one, I have one here and one here, and now I'm going to fill in the outside. And pretty much try to not go over the same spot. If I do, well, it'll be like last week when I had a couple of oopsies on my video. It isn't a real video if you don't make mistakes, you know? And I am pressing reasonably hard. I want to make sure that I get a nice transfer. Some of these I may come back to. This is the leaf image, and I may just do a little bit more. Don't know yet. Now, I often say when I'm doing something like this where I'm going to emboss pretty well the whole thing, I don't know what's the top and the bottom, but for this I already know that it's going this direction. And it's just because sometimes we really don't know. But now I am going to start putting in some bits that are different directions. And I think I'll do what I said and just do some and then heat emboss and then do some more. Ooh, I hear my stove. I wonder if the scones are done. No, I didn't bake them. No. All right, so before I heat emboss, I always close this because you really don't want that in there. Now for me, I'm just going to move that one onto my computer. I keep my embossing powder, this is the white, I keep it in here because it's the safest place for it. I have, the one I have the most of is white. And I think you can, whoop, I'm showing it to the light. I think you can see where the powder is. I don't feel the necessity, I think I said this last week, to like douse the whole thing. It's not necessary. What you do want to do is make sure you avoid where you've used the embossing powder. Aha! I see a halo. I will fix that. Halo means I pressed too hard and I got an outside image of the edge of the stamp. We don't want that. Alrighty, oh, a little bit more here. I honestly don't know if that looks like anything to you. Over here is where I messed up. So I am really, truly just gonna use my finger. I don't have a paintbrush with me. They work really well. Now the other thing, another thing you can use your take your pick tool for. Just get those extra bits off. If there's a couple there, it's just gonna be one of those I meant to do that moments. Okay, I'm not closing that, but I'm not gonna knock it over, I promise. Okay, it's gonna get loud, I do apologize. Oops. And I may knock a few things on the floor. I love this. Like, it never gets old. Never, ever, ever, ever gets old. The magic. Now again, I don't think you'll be able to see it, but once it goes shiny, I know the powder has melted. Once it gets totally heated up, this goes really fast. All right, happy with that one. Next. So I don't, ouch. Okay, it's hot. Yep, it's hot. We'll start down here, not burn our fingers. I do go fairly close, but you'll notice I don't leave it in one spot, so I'm probably like an inch and a half away. I don't want to burn anything. flip it around, and do the rest. And then we get to the fun part. I mean, embossing is fun, but then we'll get to the fun part. Let's see, I missed this spot. That's why I always look at it from different angles, just to make sure. It's easy to miss when you're using, you know, pretty well white on white. Okay. Oh, I see another spot. And down here in the corner. Yowza. Again, that's really hot, so you do want to be really careful. And you for sure don't want any little kids around this, just in case. So I'm going to take my embossing buddy, which I set... Oh, good, that wasn't what hit the floor. I don't know what hit the floor. And I'm going to put a few more in here and here. I think when you are doing this particular, it's an awful lot of powder. When you're doing this technique, you really want to cover as much surface as you possibly can. And that's what we're going to do. Just keep going. If you notice lately, my videos are getting longer. I'm really not trying to make them longer, but I think what I'm doing is taking longer. Oh, wait, I know what I'm doing. Wait, I have a leaf right there. So maybe just a corner of a leaf. I don't like overkill on the same thing. I found one we haven't used yet. So we've used almost every stamp in this set. All right, we'll put one of these here. Again, it's getting hard. Well, it's very hard to see where I've done this, but as long as you keep it moving with the light, you will be good. And what else? Can I fit another one of these on? Maybe, or a part of one. Oh, thank you, Julie. They may be longer, but you are so good, Sandy. Thank you. Oh, I almost stamped it in a spot where I already had one. Tisk. Alrighty. Now, for the purpose of the video, I'll just do a couple more, and then we'll get to the extra fun part that I think is, it's what takes your card from, yeah, that's pretty cute, to, wow, that's really cool. And that's what we're looking for. Okay, so this teeny tiny stamp, I'm going to go back into the Versamark and just look for a couple spots that could maybe use some dots. I don't know, can you see any of this on the video or on the screen? I cannot tell. My goodness, that's getting like a little puzzle. Over here, one down here. Now, if I was right up here, if I was only going to put a few on, then I would definitely have counted, you know, that I've used 3 or 5 or 7. But, alrighty, so I'm going to put my finger on one that I've already embossed. That way I won't mess it up. And back on with the embossing powder. I didn't really realize you could do this. I thought you had to do them all at once. But I saw a couple of demonstrators from England do this, and I thought, or from the UK, and I thought that's really cool. Because they couldn't see either, and I don't think they were using this technique. I think they were doing Joseph's coat. Yeah, try that spot. Okay, looking good, and I see there's one more over here. There we go. It looks good. And if something isn't perfect, wow, that's what embellishments and ribbon and all kinds of fun things. Oh, good. I just, thank you, Julie. Wanted to make sure you could see that. Oh, I think it was the lid that I dumped. Yeah. It might just be, so we're going to be really careful. All right, let's heat this up and get on to the next. I'll try to keep it moving so you can see what's happening. Full speed. There we go. It should still be warmed up, so it should go reasonably fast. Now, I love white on white cards, because this is kind of, it would be a very subtle card. Oh, I see an oopsie, but that's okay. already done. They're melting so quickly, it's hard to tell. Quick is good. So here's my question. Does everybody heat emboss? Or are you like me where you were like, oh, I don't know. Like I had all this and I hadn't been using it. And I'm like, I don't know why. Because it's totally addictive. Totally. Totally. And it just brings, ow. You can tell it's hot. Ow. All right, so there it is. Just checking this one here. I'm just going to give just a little bit more. Watch your fingers. Looking good. All right, push some of these goods out to the side. Alrighty, so what we're going to do now is bring in our colors. So we're going to use Poppy Parade and Mango Melody. No, yes, I always want to call that something else. Dropbox appears in front of my screen. That's annoying. Oh, and Rosemary, you heat emboss once in a while. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Sherry. Alrighty. Okay, so here goes. Now, we do have blending brushes. Right now, they're not orderable. I have to be honest with you. They're not orderable, but they are coming back in stock. You'll notice that these don't look the same. That's because my third one of these, now I washed it. Remember I said I've been going to be washing them to see what happens. So as dark as this is, Poppy Parade, is how green this was in Shaded Spruce. So they do wash up. And then I put it in the Mango Melody. It's not dry yet. So I have to use one that's not Stampin' Up. Sorry. Okay. I think I'm going to start with the Mango Melody. Which, by the way, was the color of the cardstock that we stamped on at the beginning. Now, for this, two things. You know what I stamped on? This is not embarrassing. I stamped on my Post-it note. Sorry about that. I'll be stamping that again. Unless I drop that on the floor. I don't think so. Okay, so when you start, hopefully this is all in frame, take a little bit of the ink off. And just, I don't want a lot on here. I'm not going to close them. I'm going to throw caution to the wind. So if you notice all this extra ink here, before I did this, my sample that I made days ago, I re-inked everything. So if you're going to use the blending brushes, get these guys. Not only for that, you want to watch, there are colors that are going to retire, and you're going to want to get the re-inkers and the ink if you like it before there's a big rush and you can't get them, because it will happen. And the inks always sell out fast, really, really fast. So that was the Poppy Parade. I love how the Mango Melody doesn't look like Mango Melody, and the Poppy Parade looks a little more pink. So you can kind of see where I'm going with this. Like I said, I want it pretty, and that's what we're going with. Okay, so just the inside of the card first. I'm going to go more, a little darker on the front. Now, here's the trick. Emboss, resist. Oh, we're not done yet. Then get the top of that one, or that one. You know me, I like mixing colors. There we go. Why don't we go darker? Why am I being a wimp? I don't know. Go for it. So I'm just circling around. Now, the emboss resist means that when I do this, the ink comes off of the embossing, so these go back to being quite white. I'm not getting the top of that the way I would like. I know, it's the inside of the card. It matters too. There. And again, I can't believe I did that. I thought it looked a little orange. So that's pretty. Okay, but let's do the big one. Okay. And I have my cloth ready. And again, we'll start with the Mango Melody. Take some off. This is actually a very forgiving technique that if you do happen to mess up, it is fixable. But you know that I don't go super dark the first time. I have to keep playing with it. Okay, this one is the Magenta Madness, yeah? Okay. What I want to do is make sure I get some of each of the colors in each of the areas. You know what the Post-it notes were for? For this, so I could hold it and not get my fingers too messed up. Because it's white I'm going to be making. There's going to be a mess happening. Oh, almost. I need to remind myself that I want to leave space where I can add in the Poppy Parade. Now you can do this with a mixture of colors. If I wanted this to be more masculine, I may then go towards the shaded spruce, and I'd still use the Mango Melody or Daffodil Delight, but I may go a little earthier with the colors. So these are my pretty colors. And again, just the way they blend together, it makes me happy. Very happy. Okay, so who does this technique? Who's a more of an expert than me? Because I've only done this a few times, which is why I think it takes me longer, because I like to play with the colors. So if you've already done this technique, tell me if I'm doing anything that I could speed this up or change it up or whatever. I'm happy to take advice as well. Okay, we're gonna go back to Mango. Hey Sandy, how are you? It's a good week. It's a good week. We had some melting happening, which was kind of nice to see. After our super heavy snow we had earlier. So you see how I can intensify the color? So this is the Mango Melody, as is this, but this is on the pink. The pink. It's on the Magenta Madness or the Poppy Parade. Okay, so Rosemary, you've done this technique. It's fun, isn't it? Like just the intensity. You can just keep, you can stop, go, whatever you want. You can, it almost looks orange to me, which I think is cool. And back to little Poppy Parade, because this is a little bit light in the corner. I can hear my son vacuuming upstairs. I don't know if you can hear it. So, if you can, sorry. Oh, I'm doing just fine, thank you. I think I may want to go back. Keeping track of these is kind of important. Now, I wouldn't normally have two in the like this, but I wanted to use both for my cards, so I need to get more once they're orderable again, and I don't think it'll be too long. And I totally forgot to look before the video, so I do apologize. I was going to say, and it's going to be orderable on, yeah, I forgot, sorry. So sorry. A little bit more. What I'm trying to do here is keep some in where I can get more than one color on them, because I think that looks really cool. Almost done. A couple little areas. And then this one has to, excuse my arm. Let's get these closed. It has to dry a little bit. Alrighty, so let's read some comments while I'm closing my ink pads like a good girl. Norma Jean, hello from British Columbia. Oh, the time change, yeah. Yes, because we're a few hours apart. That's why I almost always, I try to say Eastern Standard Time, but I'm not sure if I always do it. And Sandy, you had some melting too. Yeah, it is a little early. Yeah, winter's not done. No, it's not done with us. Definitely not. We've still got some fun and frivolity left. for sure. As long as it's not ice, I don't really mind. Isn't that pretty? I should look at my fingers first before I do anything, because I'm going to set that aside and bring in the real piece of Mango Melody and locate the stamp again. Here it is. Because I actually thought I had made a bigger piece than this, which is clearly not Mango Melody. Clearly not. All right, so let's go back. That looks good and inky. And the one thing, in case I haven't said it like on every video, is store your memento upside down. If you've over inked it though, do be careful. I do have a habit of doing that. All right, clean up some of my mess. All right, bring in the base of the card now, because we can start constructing. It looks like a magic reveal. It is kind of, you know, Sandy, it is. And thank you, Julie. I love this technique. Okay, so this truly is Mango Melody, and it is 4 1/4. No, it isn't. 4 1/8 by 11, and it's scored at 5 1/2. And I had, there it is, used my bone. I thought I had used the bone. There we go. See how I like when it's nice and flat. All right. I have to cut this down a little bit because I needed some overhang. I thought I was going to forget I really did. It's embarrassing. I thought I was going to forget to bring the Post-it notes, which is why I made this a little bit bigger. So now we're going to use our trimmer. Okay, so we want this one to be 4 1/8. Just deciding if I want to take it from this side or that side. I want to take it from this side. I'm not sure if there's a method to my madness. I just like it this way. Okay, so that skinny little strip's going bye-bye, but not in the embossing powder. And it will be 5 3/8. So 1, 2, 3/8. There we go. And now it's going to fit beautifully. I'm pretty sure, let me double check. Yep, this one is the right size. Because I wasn't too concerned that about the insects. I knew I'd have something to grab onto. You know what, Sherry? I love these colors together. They're bold and they're pretty, you know? And I'll show you the original, because apparently when I make the cards by myself, they turn out a little bit different. And I did use the same colors. Now we have to wait for this. Sorry. Come on. Come on, glue. You can do it. Tracy, I did this technique, but with Brescia on Lorca. Ooh, that would be nice. That would be nice. I would love to see how that looks. There we go. Not too much. Not too much. I mean, you need enough that you get your wiggle room. We've had this talk. I know I sound like a broken record, but all right, so in we go. So we're going to have a fairly narrow border. And does it match exactly? No. Does it matter? No, not at all. Right? It's your card. I am going to bring back that cloth because I don't want to do this with my hand in the event just in case. So I'm going to go that direction. Any ink that might be on there. Oh my goodness. It's gone. Okay, so now my son is like scrubbing the floor. And I can hear that very clearly. But hey, I mean, with the vacuum. Can't complain though. Yeesh. Yeah, I would like to know where a tutorial is on that. I don't even know what umbrella. Oh, they look like an umbrella drink. Oh God, I thought it was, yeah. Years of proofreading. So I read umbrella ink instead of umbrella drink. There we go. And then same with the cloth. But I don't want to use the part that I messed up. And this is truly just a rag. Make sure we're even. Looks good. Okay. Get any residue off as well. There will be. Not the end of the world. All right. We're getting there, my friends. All right. So now I'm not gonna like cut this. I'm not gonna die cut it. I'm going to I am going to use the Label Me Fancy punch. And you know we use them upside down so we can see what we're doing. It has a little hole here if you wanted to make it into a tag. And then this little bit you could put ribbon through. I'm just using the straight part. And how old is my son? 22. Okay, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So I'm first going to cut it here, and I know it's not centered. There we go. Give it a good punch. See what I mean by the holes? I think you can see those. So that, if I wanted to then put this back in and just do a hole here, I could. But what I'm going to do is make the tag smaller because it's bigger than I want. So I'm going to put it back in. It's going to take a little patience. Maybe I should do it this way because it feels like I could do it better this way. Get in there. You can do it. This does work, by the way. Oh, there we go. Now, you need to line up the sides and just take a peek that the top and bottom are about the same. So I just slid it back in. Yes, it took a little effort. Up a little bit. Ah, don't move it. And yeah, there we go. Now it's tiny. So this is what we did. Took off that extra little bit so it fit better. I like that. All right. Now, here's something you haven't seen me use for a little while. And you know how much I love this, but I thought I was using it too much, so I thought I would, you know, bring it down a couple notches. So this is the Forever, one of the pieces. This is the gold trim out of the Forever Greenery Trim Combo Pack. And the reason I like it is because it does this. I can make it do that too. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to put a little bit of the ribbon behind this. Or the trim. I tried something bigger and it just kind of overtook it. So I like this because it's so thin. So what I'm going to do is just go around my finger like so. I can play with those loops, but I do want to hold on to them. Okay, and the scissors. So these are paper snips. And cut it there. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot. But I can do it. We're women, right? Look at how many fingers we can use all at once. All right, so I'm gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way since I have the ribbon already in my fingers. I know, I should be using my Take Your Pick tool. And I think I'm gonna put a third one. If I had my tape runner down here, my Stampin' Seal, I would use it. Okay, let's see if that's good. Over. There. It's one way to get that to turn around. Alrighty. No, I have to put one there. You know why? Because I need my loop to hang on. A little excessive on the glue dots tonight, but hey, it is what it is. All right, so remember I said I was going to play with these just a little bit. And you can do it whatever way you want. I just want a little bit sticking out of the one side, like so. And then this will just trail away. Oh, there you go. Aha! Now I knew I need another glue dot. Now I do have two free hands, so oops. Ever throw your glue dots? Not? If you do it on the floor, you will never find it. All right. I'm looped my loop. Loopy went loopy. There we go. Oh, I will make that stay. Stay. Okay. All right, and of course we have to pop it up. Of course we have to pop it up. All right, so let's go here. I'm kind of trying to avoid the glue dots, but I don't think I can. So this looks excessive too, but it will hold everything in place. 1, 2. It's funny how I count these most of the time when I'm not on video, but yeah, because I want to make sure I actually got them all. Same thing when I'm making date balls. I have to make sure that I've got all the insides out. That's really pretty. So maybe what I'll do is I can go there. That's too high. That's too low. That one seems about right. So yeah, stuff gets covered up. It is what it is. Okay, so that's the card. There's the inside. Wouldn't that just be when someone received this card and they opened it up and went, wow. I think that's cool. So here's the original. So this is what you'll see on my blog. You can see that I didn't use as many parts. I also used Calypso Coral with that, and one other one where I did the same technique. And I used this paper from last week, which is the Field and Flower, I think. Oh my goodness. But same thing, but I just highlighted that one piece, that one right there. But this again, because it's so fun to play with. Oh yeah, so as a little reminder, so if you want that to come apart, just unwind it. And I do, because I think it just looks really cool. Wispy, that's the word. Kind of like my hair that hasn't been cut since last May. My short hair is not short anymore. Anyway, that's another story, isn't it? There you go, my friends. There are examples. So mild, medium, and go light. How's that? Alrighty, so we are done. Thank you so much for joining me. Oh, hi Gail, hi Betty. Yep, we are done. So I'm going to put the important links, as I always do, up in the video after I get all this onto YouTube. So it is going on YouTube. Anyone watching on YouTube, please subscribe. That'd be wonderful. And if you wish to purchase anything, on my blog is all of the goodies that I used on the card. So it'll be easier to find. Celebration ends next week on the 28th. And I will see you next week, Tuesday at 8 p.m. So thank you again for joining me. Bye-bye.